We've got the season 1.5 tier list now. No Johnny Storm on this by the looks of it. I'm going to put Johnny in B tier. I think he's all right. I don't think he's exceptional. Johnny Storm, B tier, and the Thing in A tier. I think the Thing is actually pretty good. Good brawler, good survivability, good abilities. People kind of figured him out already. Adam Warlock. I think Adam got some damage buffs, but I still think he's B tier. Like, Adam in triple support is A tier, right? But you're not going to get triple support a lot. Like, the Mantis team up, listen. If people played the Mantis team up, I would put him in S tier. Like, that Mantis team up comp is crazy. It's so good. Adam with that team up is there. I'll put him in A tier just because the team up. Like, if you played, like, Mantis and, like, Luna with him or something, he's actually, like, a DPS hybrid, but he's, like, pretty solid. Panther, I'm going to say is B tier. I think Panther kind of fell off a little bit. You're not seeing nearly as many Panthers. It's crazy to me that people say, like, Panther and Iron Fist are, like, annoying and broken and shit, but nobody talks about how easy Namor is, and he's unbelievably strong. Namor is so fucking good. This is a ranked tier list. I don't give a fuck about the pro meta. Panther, I just think is mid as fuck. More often than not now, the Panther players I see are just running it down mid. For every one game that you have on Panther that's God tier, there's 2 games of some Panther going fucking James Bond 007. Let's stop the cap for a second here. I don't give a fuck what pro players are doing on Black Panther. I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck what these kids in ranked are doing, and they're absolutely dog shit all the time. Every fucking game I see Black Panther, the kid is feeding. More often than not, the kid is actually straight down mid. Now, it's either feast or famine. He's either killing the whole lobby, or he's doing literally nothing. You know what? I think I'll put him in A tier. God, but the bad Panthers are so bad. They're so bad. The bad Panthers suck so much, bro. They're so terrible. Oh, my goodness. Black Widow, listen. Secretly busted ass character. Her stun kick is unanswerable. It's so fucking good. I'm telling you, like, I've seen so many more Widows, and I'm going to say it again. This is a character that they need to leave terrible. They made a big mistake by not leaving her terrible. She's actually, like, awful to play against. It is better. It is more fun to play against Hawkeye than it is against Widow because you can kill the Hawkeye, but they gave her better lethality and let her keep her escape options and buffed both of them. Massive, massive mistake. Like, I don't care if her win rate is negative. Her win rate should be negative. Fuck this character. Seriously. Anytime this is good or this is good, the game will be bad. Every time. 100%. Leave her bad. Leave her niche. She's at worst B tier. I would say, like, kind of like a B, B+. A lot of people are getting value with her, and if she has the Hawkeye on her team, she can one-shot through, like, C&D ult and stuff. She is not nearly as bad as people say she is. And when people figure her out, she's going to be really, really good. So I'd say Black Widow is kind of B tier. I don't see, like, any caps is the problem. I've seen no caps at all. So because I haven't seen any Captain America, I'm going to put him in B tier. Like, I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's God tier either. I don't know what to think of Cap. I have not seen much of him. He's such a niche pick. Cloak and Dagger kind of got hit hard. I think C&D are still A tier. They're still solid. Not S tier anymore, though. Like, they can actually die in their ult. The ult is not, like, as broken as it was before. It doesn't last forever. The nerfs definitely mattered. So I think Cloak and Dagger are still A tier characters. Not S tier anymore, for sure. I still think Strange is really good. I still think Strange is S tier. Like, he's just got so many options for himself. The nerfs hit him a little bit, but I still think Strange is S tier, man. I still think he's so, so good. Okay, Groot. I think Groot is A tier, mostly because I think Groot is really map dependent. If you get Groot on the right map, he's absolutely S tier. If you get him on, like, a map where he's not as good, I still think he's A. Like, so Groot is definitely a really, really good tank, but in ranked, like, it just depends. If I was to rate Groot somewhere else other than A tier, it would 100% be S tier. He's really, really solid. His ult is really, really good. He's a great pick. You can play him almost anywhere. Groot definitely good. Solid pick. Hawkeye. I don't know, man. I think Hawkeye is just mid. You can pop off as Hawkeye. You can get value as Hawkeye for sure. I just think there's a lot of other shit in the game that's just better. Good players can dominate on Hawkeye. Make no mistake. His nerf to his build rate on this charge, like, did a lot. And if you're Jesus, you can get value on Hawkeye. I want to be an aim god. Sure, go for it. He can definitely be a very solid DPS. Definitely not terrible. Just not God tier either. You know, I think he's very middle of the pack. Pretty solid. Hella S tier, man. I think she's got a bug right now with her fall off or something. I don't know what it is, but she's still so good. Her ult's solid. Like, she's a great pick, man. Hit scan will always be good. It's crazy to think that the hero shooter genre is willing to do hit scan characters, but, like, Call of Duty, like, straight up raw FPS games are never hit scan. And that's because hit scan is fucking OP, man. It is so OP. It is so good. So, yeah, I think Hela is S tier. No surprise. Banner got hit with some nerfs. I think Banner's A tier, maybe S tier in the right hands. Like, the only reason I don't say Banner is S tier is I think there's more things to answer him in the game now than there were before. There's a lot of other shit into him and his team up that you can play now that like opens him up. And especially with the thing coming in and being more competitive for that spot, like it's just kind of cool to see. I think Banner's really good. Again, Banner and Groot are in the same boat for me. Like I would, if I had to rank him not A tier, I would rank him S tier for sure. You can play him pretty much anywhere when he's not banned. Super good pick, great character, really strong. All the power to Banner. Iron Fist, he's just B tier. I've played a fuckload of him this season. Like I can't rank him higher than this for a couple reasons. One, you have to have your team play around you. If you don't have the perfect comp to enable you, you are absolutely fucking useless. You're just useless, right? His damage and brawl against tanks in tank mirrors is fucking S tier, dude. He is so good at getting his cooldowns back, getting the team around him. But a character that already sucked with damage does 27% less damage to squishies right now. If you play him in the right situation, he's S tier. If you play him in the wrong situation, he's D tier. I really hope that they sit down and kind of make him a little bit worse against tanks and a little bit better against squishies. That would be really nice. You can build your ult so fast. Maybe I'm ranking him B tier because like it's not as fun in my opinion to just sit there and WM1 at tanks. It's harder to control his ult now because it flies you around, so you have to be very careful. But like in the right brawl comps, he is S tier. Make no mistake. He's fucking really good. You have to be perfect. But just understand, he's not a character that can kill squishies. He can't. Previous patch in your empowered punches, you were doing 20 damage a hit to squishies. Now you're doing 14.25 to squishies. It's so dependent on if they play two tanks. If they play two tanks, I'd put him here. If they play triple DPS or triple support, I'd put him here. So like A-, B+. Like definitely like very situational, but in the right situation, he's a monster. Absolute monster. Seriously, like so good. Absolute beast. So make no mistake. Don't fall for this Iron Fist. I only put him here because he's either Jesus or terrible. No in between. No in between whatsoever. Iron Man, I think is B tier. He got some buffs. He's all right. Not much to really say on him. He got some damage buffs with Banner. He's really good. But again, it depends on if you get this team up. If you get the team up, I put him in A tier. If you don't get the team up, I put him in B tier. But like alone Iron Man is just not going to be that much of a threat. Jeff the Shark, B tier as well. Again, he's good if you get a Luna Snow and another support, and you can put like an S tier pick on him, I would say. But like, again, it's really dependent on the comp, really dependent on the map. He's a lot like Iron Fist. Like he's 2 map specific, 2 comp specific. It's not like Hela where you can just pick Hela and do whatever the fuck you want and be S tier, right? A lot of these characters who are B tier require some setup from another character, and you can't just individually pick them and go crazy, right? So yeah, I would say Jeff is B tier as well. Loki, his ult alone just makes him always be able to copy the best character in the game. Like he's so obnoxious to deal with. I honestly think they need to make it so that like he has to build his ult a little bit, maybe doesn't instantly get the ult, but they want you to feel broken. So I guess that's kind of like the vibe the game is going for. Super powerful, always has clones up. His ammo is crazy good. His ult builds fast. He can do a lot of stuff. Super versatile. Definitely an S tier pick. And the same is going to go for Luna Snow here. I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. The Luna nerfs were noticeable, like she doesn't get her ult as fast, but I will say she's just Luna Snow, man. She's just so good. So good. So strong. Insane ult. The Snowflake is an absolutely gigabusted ability. Her clap is good too. She's got CC. This character has literally everything on her kit that she needs. Insanely strong character. Okay. I think Magic's A tier. Again, a hero that has to be good in the right hands, but in the right hands, she can do the Lord's work. So, yeah, I mean, no surprise here. Magic, just crazy character. I think she got some buffs as well, so she's still very solid, very pickable. Great character. Same goes for Mag, man. I mean, Mag is just like an S tier character. Again, I don't think that this is a surprise to anybody. So versatile, does so much. Again, his ult covers his weaknesses with range. He can kill through. And the key thing is, chat, the main reason why Magneto is S tier is he's got an ult that can kill through support ults, man. He can one-shot the Cloak and Dagger. He can one-shot the Sue Storm. He can one-shot the Luna Snow. I believe if he gets enough damage on his thing, he can one-shot the Punisher ult. He can counter DPS ults and turn them into things that wipe your win con. So a good Magneto really controls the game on his own. Easily S tier. Even if they nerf him, as long as he can do that, he will always be S tier. Mantis, I'm going to put an A tier. I don't think Mantis is quite S tier because she just can't put out as much healing and self-sustain for herself as the other characters in the game. She's still good. I think her nerfs hit her hard. She's got a cap on what she can output, unlike Luna. Luna can just permanently like shit out heals. Same for Loki, right? But Mantis, she's got to actually hit crits to get her life spores back, making it a bit harder for her to actually, you know, get that direct value. But I still think Mantis is absolutely an A tier pick here. So I'm going to put Mantis in the A tier slot. Moon Knight, man, very bad against dive. Very, very good into the group brawl. Very, very good against Loki. Like, if they're running Loki comps or they're running Groot comps, Moon Knight becomes a must pick. Anytime there's a Loki on the other team and I really want to win, I will always play Moon Knight because you can use his clones against him. And that's one of the most important things to do in the game. His ult got nerfed, though, pretty hard. You can't kill through support ults as easily as you could before. But because he's good into Loki and good into Groot and some of those other matchups, I'm going to put him in B tier. He'll almost always lose to Hela. His Ankh is all he has. And otherwise, he's just worse at every level. His damage output is so low. Namor. I find it hilarious that anybody calls heroes like Iron Fist a noob character or Black Panther a noob character when it is unbelievably easy to get value on Namor, especially if you have a Luna Snow. Namor is one of the easiest, strongest characters in the game. So fucking easy. Flank, drop 2 turrets in their back line, right click at a squishy, dead pretty much every time. Absolutely busted character. With Luna's on his team, if the Luna swaps a damage boost, his ult can one-shot in the outer ring. This guy is like the Magneto of tank, and he also has a self-survivability ability. This dude is like May and Ashe had a baby with Torbjorn. Like, absolutely busted character. I think it's laughable that anybody in low ranks would ever complain about a character like Iron Fist and be like, you don't have to aim, when you can just go Namor, drop 2 turrets, flank, right click a support, and they're going to die almost every single time. It's absolutely crazy. So Namor is one of the best heroes in the game. Super, super powerful. It's shocking to me that they buffed the team up with Luna Snow when it already was as good as it is. So yeah, Namor, absolutely crazy character. Penny Parker, just B tier. Situational, it depends. The problem is she can feed really, really hard. Not much to talk about when it comes to Penny. Very map dependent. If you really, really want to play her, you can if you're good at her. But you also have some big downsides to poke damage, and it's hard to compete, right? So yeah, we'll see. Psylocke. Psylocke's very B tier. Once people figured out the game, she just got much worse. Totems, hard counter her. She's just not, you know, Namor just checks her so easily. Like, there's a good Psylocke, you pick Namor, and like her life becomes much harder. So I just don't think she's that great. She's fun, but like I think she's mid. I just think Psylocke's mid. That's just my opinion. Rocket Raccoon, A tier for sure. They buffed this guy way too much. He heals too much. Like, insane self-sustain. Rocket players are probably the most boosted players in the game, I would say. Lives forever, no risk, can sit there and spam out heals and just never dies with a tiny hitbox. They need to nerf him for sure. Laughable to me that people would complain about Panther and Iron Fist as being noob, easy characters when Rocket Raccoon exists. Like, it's just, there are so many things you can pick that are absolute cake that just bail you out for free. They definitely made a big mistake over buffing Rocket Raccoon, and I hope to see them revert that buff. He does not need it. Builds his ult quick, really strong ultimate. Just don't, I think it was a big mistake. Like, listen, I'm going to say it. When you have players like no damage Rocket climbing to eternity, sitting there spamming heals on Rocket and not shooting the gun, your character is probably too good. There are so many Rocket players that are just giga boosted where he gets a free res before the fight. He gets to do all this shit. Like, if he gets a free res before the fight, most heroes can't do anything about. He should not have the level of sustain that he does for his team. I think he's absolute 1-star, easiest entry-level character to play in the game. And I'll leave it at that. Scarlet Witch, B tier still, not great, no burst damage. Can't rank her higher than that. Not much to really say there. Her team up with Mag is not good enough for Mag for her to be justified as a pick. I think she's just B tier. That's the reality of it. You know, okay. Same for Spidey. I think Spidey is like a little bit better now. I've been seeing some Spideys get value, so that's cool. Especially with the support ult nerfs, like Spidey can actually contend a little bit more and sometimes build his ult early and get a win con off. So I think Spidey's B tier. I don't think he's exceptional by any means, but like he's okay. Like you can play Spidey and not be throwing the game anymore. So Squirrel Girl, I almost want to put her in A tier, man, but I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's really solid. I would say she's a B plus, man. Good character. She can get value. Like, I've seen some Squirrel Girls pumping damage into like Groot thing comps. Like, if they're not running a shield tank and you go Squirrel Girl, man. Star-Lord, I think he's Star-Lord's A tier. I think he's got a bug right now where he's got no fall off. In ranked, he can be like really good. Star-Lord's one of my carry characters for sure. You can do so much, especially if they don't have a Magneto. If they don't have a Magneto, man, you can go unchecked and you can dominate a lobby. But, you know, I think Star-Lord, he's got a great team up with Adam and Mantis. He is so, so good. So, shout out to Star-Lord, one of my favorite characters to play in the game. Love him. Storm, I'm going to put it A tier as well. I don't think Storm is S tier anymore. They nerfed her a little bit, brought her back in check. Definitely better than most of the DPS in the game. And she's just good, man. She's Storm. She's good. She's got good damage, good projectiles that can pierce. The ult can kill supports, especially with Johnny Storm on the team now. You can kill through support ults, actually. So, yeah, the Storm buffs, like they gave her previous season, really, really good. Super strong character. I like Storm a lot. She's very, very good. Punny. I actually think Punny's A tier, man. Like, I've seen some Punnies putting in the Lord's work this season, dude. Like, I don't know what it is about Punny, but I've seen a lot of Rocket Punnies just dominate games. Like, Punny is still good. He's still good. I think really what it is Hawkeye can't check him as much anymore. I think he's just solid. Like, I've just seen a lot of Punishers do well. Like, more often than not, Punishers are doing pretty well. So, I think he's a good pick. He's got a good ult. You just got to be careful of mag ult, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, Punisher, you know, got to give him a good rating there. Thor. I think Thor's just B tier, man. Like, poke damage and range damage just can fry him. It's just like, your team loses so much with the Thor, and like, if you have the Storm baby, but like, Hela can crush him, Namor can crush him, Punisher can crush him, like fucking Mantis Atom Comps can crush him, Groot can zone him, he can't get healed. You know, I just think there's better shit in the game than Thor. Like, I like Thor a lot, and you can play him for sure, but man, it's much harder to play Thor than it is most of the characters in the game. So yeah, I love Thor, but I can't rank him higher than B tier because of that. Venom, man. I'm going to put Venom in A tier. I think he's at least A tier. I've seen a lot more Venom this season. Those buffs went a long way for him. A lot more Venom players are getting value, man. Venom's a super, super cool tank. One of the coolest designs I've ever played with. I think Venom is so good. So yeah, big ups on the Venoms this season. It's also helped, Venom being better has also helped Spidey quite a bit. So Bucky, dude. In ranked, I think Bucky is so good, man. His ult's not really affected by mag ult. He's so good into Loki. He can farm off the Loki clones. Unreal damage. Grapple's such a crazy ability. You know, he just does everything, and his survivability with his shield build is crazy now. Massive buffs. I think Bucky is so good. Now, are you going to pick him up and be Jesus with him? No, you have to actually be pretty decent as a player. But once you hit a certain skill level on Bucky, you just can dominate. You can do so much on this character. He gets so much fucking health that his ult can explode you. Even if he just hits you and doesn't even shoot you, it can just explode and kill you. So yeah, I think Bucky is S tier. Wolverine, I'm going to say Wolvie's A tier. Again, it depends if they're playing tanks. He's just banned so much that I never see him get played. So, like, I only going to put him in A tier because, like, he's banned, like, every game. He's banned so much, dude. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is where things stand. They definitely brought the bottom of the pack up quite a bit. You know, Iron Fist is the big question mark for me here. I think Iron Fist is the most volatile one. Like, if you get him in the right comp with the right team, holy fuck, you can do so much. But if they swap to a comp that's, like, not double tank, bro, good luck. Oh, yeah, Sue Storm's not on here yet. Let's do Sue Storm as well. So I think Susan Storm is A tier at least, maybe S tier. She's really good, got a good ult, builds it fast, good knockback mechanics. The shield is really, really cool, what she can do. So yeah, Susan, I would say is at least A tier. If I had to rate her something other than A tier, I would rank her S tier for sure. And Mr. F is B tier. He's just a fucking goofy character. Fantastic, like, he can be good, but, like, again, too much to set up. It's just easier to get direct value on another character. So you have to have the right heroes around him. Like, if you're going to play Mr. F as an DPS, like, you need somebody who plays a poke character that's good to help, like, cover your weakness. Otherwise, it gets hard. What would I rate this patch? I mean, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, like, I still think the Season 0 patch was a bit better. I'll have to give it more time. I just need to start playing Namor. If I was a Namor player, I'd like it, but, like, I really like playing Iron Fist, and I'm biased, just full disclosure. My favorite characters are just so volatile right now. I have more fun chilling and playing Namor, or chilling and playing Mantis or Star-Lord than I do playing, like, my favorite characters, which, you know, that's okay. It's the name of the game, right? Your character can't always be good. Yeah, okay, that's my tier list for this season, guys. Let me know what you agree with, what you don't, down in the comments.